Hello, people. So now I'm going to talk about the from 33 to 64 on my big board, as well as some guys that I've included in the first round that I've come across since I did my last video. So there's a guy called Kyzir White, who is a free safety. He's Kevin White's brother, so he's got the same speed, the same size, similar size, but at free safety he plays so damn fast. Has the quickness to... That is damn creepy. There's ghosts in here. Yeah, flies the ball. I've got him 10th in the whole draft. He's worth the 10th pick because I think he's fast enough to keep up with receivers in coverage. I think he's physical enough to run stop, and he's just really explosive and goes hard. And I think, he can shut down half a field. So that's first round value. That's 10th overall pick value. Now 11th, my 11th pick in the whole draft is a wide receiver by the name of DaeShon Hamilton. He's out of Penn State. He's the leading reception yards guy for Penn State in their whole history. Like, that's nothing to... What is this, nothing to sniff at? Yeah. I've got him 11th. And that's weird for me because I do not think receivers are... it's not high on my priority list to get them because I think they're so easy to get, in my opinion, yeah. So, but DaeShon Hamilton, he's not blazing fast, but he's fast enough to get downfield. He's really good with his routes. He's just so, technically proficient. And his hands are probably the best hands in the whole damn draft. You just know that he's going to make the right play. You know that he's going to get a sliver of space at least. So as long as you get that ball to him, he's going to make the catch. And if you have a guaranteed completion from a guy, that's hugely valuable. So that's why I've got him 11th. The next guy I've got at wide receiver is Calvin Ridley, who's more physically gifted than DaeShon Hamilton, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Bit taller. But I'm not sure about his proficiency in routes. I'm not sure about... His hands aren't as good as DaeShon Hamilton. I think Hamilton is going to be an absolute... And I haven't seen him in any mock drafts, big boards. So I think he's going to be a huge steal. Number 17 I've put in is Nathan Shepard, the defensive tackle. He comes from a Division 2 school, but holy shit, have you seen his tape? I think his broad jump was in the 90th percentile for defensive tackles as far as mock draftable has their records, which is understandable because the dude just is flat out crazy first step. So damn physical, just pushes dudes out of the way. I think he can be at least a dominant run stopper and can develop as a pass rusher too. He's just flat out. Who was my best defensive tackle before that? Trenton Thompson, isn't as explosive as Shepard. Yeah, I think that dude's going to be an absolute beast. I'm not sure if I've seen him in first round conversations, but I think he should be there for sure. Right after him at number 18 is Uchenna Nwosu. I think he's out of USC, an outside linebacker. He's not so much that he might, he could probably get up to maybe 5 or 6 sacks a year, but I reckon he's more of a base end, so he's sort of controlling the strong side. Sorry, I've just got to show you guys something. Look at this bloke. Look. I think he's frothing for some food because I brought some toast down. I live with my parents, by the way. Yeah, I think, I'm saving money. No, I'm not. I don't even have a job. Shit. Anyway, but look at this guy. Look at him. I get to hang out with him, well, actually, he's a bit of a nagger. But look. Sorry. I get distracted. That's a King Charles Cavalier for you right there. Man. Best dogs. He's gone a bit senile. He's about 13. He barks. He barks in the morning if he hasn't had his food. Because he has to have food and drugs. Like steroids and things. Because his poor old body's carking it. But anyway. What we'll talk about. Uchenna Nwosu. You know, he can seal the edge. He can... Which means that he can be a really good run defender. 5 or 6 sacks a year. But he's also fast enough to cover guys in space. So, whether that be tracking running backs when they're streaking out for checkdowns. He can even just play one-on-one on tight ends, I think. He's got the wingspan to bat balls away and the speed to keep up with them. So, super valuable guy there. So that's number 18. Number 20 is a cornerback, Byron Murphy. I think he's got such a fiery attitude that he's gonna compete hard every single snap. He's gonna train like a maniac. He's got all the physical tools you need. And he just plays hard, really good run stopping, like he hits hard. Like watch his tape, the dude's just nasty. So I think he can, I think he's a top 20 talent, say. So those are the guys that I scouted more recently since my last video and I've included in my first round. Because I suppose this is a continuous process as I see more players. So I'm not sure if I spoke about these guys. I'm going to go from 33 to 64 now. Buckle in. I'm not sure if I spoke about the some of these guys from round 1 because they've been bumped out of the first round because I've included the guys I just talked about. But number 33, Arden Key, outside linebacker. I think he's probably best as an outside pass rusher, I would say. Super fast. His technique isn't so good, but I think he's fast enough to get around guys and also maybe track players in space as well. So that means that he has some value just beyond rushing the passer or stopping the run. I think he can cover as well. He's that good of an athlete. So he's 33 in my board. 34, De'Aaron Payne, the defensive tackle. He's a bit shorter than Nathan Shepard and Trent Thompson, which I think might decrease his ability to sort of out-leverage guys. I mean, you look at Aaron Donald, and I think what he makes him so good, he's so good with his hands. And Payne is pretty good with his hands, so... Yeah, number 35, Rashad Penny, the running back. So I've got him ahead of Barkley, because I think he's a better pure runner between the tackles. He's more, I feel like he's not so much quickness, but just straight line speed. But I think, he can just be a really solid running back that is going to hit that holes hard between the tackles. He can bounce out a bit as well, and I think he can pass block and receive a little bit, not quite as high upside as Barkley, but still just really solid. The 36 is cornerback Jair Alexander. He's a bit short, but I think he's so athletic and so long that he can make up for it. So fast enough to track guys down the field. And number 37 is the linebacker Rashaan Evans. Just solid all round. I think he could probably be maybe a Sam linebacker in a 4-3. I'm not sure about Mike. I don't know if he's quite fast enough, but he's super strong. Can shed blockers very easily and force containment. So super valuable there, and I think he's quick enough to cover some guys in coverage too. So super valuable there. Number 38, this is a guy I've scouted only recently, but Simi Cobbs, I think he's out of Indiana. He's a wide receiver. Just like DaeShon Hamilton, not that fast, but just so he knows how to get his hands free. He knows how to run routes. He's got fairly sure hands. I think he can be you probably use him as a slot receiver primarily, just as that possession guy, but like you can basically rely on him just making the right play, getting open, getting his hands to the ball, and he's quite big, 6'2", 6'3". I watched a video, and that means that he's in a red zone threat too. So I watched a video of him versus Denzel Ward. Now everyone reckons Denzel Ward is a top 10 pick, but he's like, you can't teach height, and that might sound harsh. And I've given like J.A. Alexander, who's only 5'10", I've got him 36, whereas Ward, I don't even have him in the first 2 rounds, because you just watch the tape and Cobb's, just back shoulder fade right over Ward, So if you've got a bigger corner, that doesn't happen as easily. So yeah, I encourage you to watch that matchup. Denzel Ward would be a really good slot receiver, but I think other cornerbacks like J.A. Alexander can play outside as well. I'm just not sure Ward could go up against the more physical receivers like Mike Evans, Devin Funchess, those really big receivers. I think the opposition would exploit that like crazy. Number 39 is the tight end Hayden Hurst. I think he's alright in the pass blocking game, which is what I kind of think of first with tight ends, because I feel like protecting your quarterback is the most important thing on the offense. And then from there you can look at receiving talent. So I think, and also having a good blocking tight end means that your run game is improved a lot. So he's all right there, and he's all right in the receiving game. I think he's just solid all around. He's a bit older. I think he's 25 or something, but that means that he can come in right away. I think guys should only come out when they're draft ready. So, and like ready to actually contribute from day one. So so he's ready to go, I think. Number 40 is Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver. I've spoken about him a bit. He's pretty good. He's pretty physical, pretty quick. I think he probably can be a sort of mid-range throw target for sure. Maybe not so much deep. I'm not sure he has that burner speed or the ability to sort of shield defenders from his body and make that catch. But yeah, still pretty damn valuable. Number 41 is Ronnie Harrison. I've got him as a free... Ronnie Harrison out of Alabama. I've got him as a free safety. He played more strong safety because Minkah Fitzpatrick with Alabama was at a free safety. But I think Harrison... I think he can be that deep lone safety because he's massive. He's like 6'4". And I think it was like a 4.5 40-yard dash. So that's not great for a lone deep safety, but he's so long and so big that I think he can still get there to help on deeper balls. So and he's big. I just don't know about his run stopping ability. So I'm not sure like his play awareness and his play recognition. I'm not sure about that. So I'm not sure you want him up close in the box and things like that. I think you want him more as just like a safety blanket type guy. But yeah, that's hugely valuable. Number 42 is my boy Baker Mayfield, quarterback. So yeah, he's my third ranked quarterback after Mason Rudolph and Luke Falk. Mayfield, 42 for a quarterback is very high for me. Everyone else is saying, the first 5 picks will be quarterbacks. I think that's just such a mistake. But yeah, Mayfield I think will be very, very good. I don't think he'll be Drew Brees. I think he doesn't have the same sort of fundamentals on his on his throws, like his mechanics and his base and things like that. But really accurate. He mostly makes the right play. Yeah. You don't like him playing hero ball, and like sometimes you just want him to take a sack. But I think he has a lot of patience in the pocket. So, I mean, I've seen a critique of him. He actually runs into pressure in the pocket. Maybe he does a little bit, but he's pretty athletic, pretty good with his feet. So I think he can escape the pocket well. So I think, I'm not sure he can be a starter from day one, but maybe in 1 or 2 years, I think he could be. So, yeah, at 42, where would he go? It's interesting to think of where they might go. It's 42, so let's say that's... So that would be... he'd be going to Oakland. So backing up Derek Carr. I mean, that's 2 good young quarterbacks. But, like, that's in my universe. Baker's probably going top 15 or something in the real draft. But that's just me. Anyway, number 43, Saquon Barkley, the running back. Yeah, so I don't know about his between the tackles running. I don't know if he's physical enough. Like, he's such a super athlete, but I don't know if he's willing to just destroy guys and drive through and finish plays. I think in the receiving game, like, he's the dude who, once he gets outside the tackles, like, the big playability is huge. I think he can run some routes, but you guys need to watch Juice Wyndham's breakdown of Saquon. He does it with another guy who's really knowledgeable too, but yeah, they studied the tape of Barkley just one game, and he's just not as physical as you would want, as dominant an athlete he is. He, in pass protection, not so great. I mean, he knows what to do, but then he's not. Maybe you could accuse him of just not being that crazy, just physical competitor, So yeah, he's such a super athlete and dynamic with the ball that you could play him as a slot receiver maybe and just try and get some good screen, or receiver and get some screens going. As a return man, one of the best. So yeah, he has value there, but I don't think he's worth a first round pick. Number 44, Courtland Sutton, the wide receiver. Now, that is a dude who would give Denzel Ward some trouble, I think. Have you seen like how broad Courtland Sutton's shoulders are? And he still ran a 4.5 40-yard dash or something. So, jump ball target. Quick enough to get down the field. Maybe not so much mobility, but I don't think you need to. I think you can just have him just run straight lines, have a comeback or a hitch or an out route, and so big that he can shield off guys and make the catch. So really valuable there. Number 45, Isaiah Oliver, cornerback. Yeah, he's alright. He's very long-limbed. Can probably play better as a slot corner, but I think he could play outside a bit as well. Number 46, I've got a bit of space left on my storage, but anyway. Number 46 is the inside linebacker, Roquan Smith. Now, people think he's a top 10 pick as well, but I think that he's just not physical. He's not, he can't shed blocks. So he's a good weak side linebacker because he can cover guys in space better than probably Leighton Vander Esch is probably on par with him because of Vander Esch's speed. But the difference between him and Vander Esch is that Vander Esch is big enough and strong enough to shed blocks, whereas Roquan Smith just gets punished. Brett Coleman did a good video on Roquan Smith recently, so I urge you to check that out. But I don't think you can rely on him actually, unless he's completely unblocked. I don't think he can make a tackle when runner is running between the tackles, right? So you need to scheme him always on the weak side. If he's strong side, he's going to get absolutely punished because you're going to have a guard come out and just push him out of the way. So that's a problem. But he has huge value as a coverage guy, and tackles for loss when guys think they have an edge, because he's just so damn fast and he's a good tackler. So number 47 is the tackle, Chukwuemeka Okorafor. I think he's got all the physical tools. He's got good agility, long arms. Maybe not quite as strong as a lot of the other tackles, and I think that might limit him a bit, but I think he could still be an okay right tackle starting right tackle from day one, and then develop into a left tackle. So there you go. I think this draft is quite deep, but I don't know about the top level talent. I mean, everyone's is that correct? What I say? I'm not sure about Hall of Fame talent. Maybe the top 5 would be. Derwin James, probably. I mean, I'm really high on Orlando Brown. If he just keeps moderately in shape, I think he can be dominant. McLingchey. I think there's some Hall of Fame candidates, maybe the top 5. Outside of that, we'll see. But it's quite deep. I think there's a lot of starting potential guys. Anyway, number 48 is quarterback Josh Rosen. I think he's an awesome passer, but I'm not sure about his ability to actually get to the stage where he is passing it, just because he's quite lean, which will affect his composure in the pocket, and he's suffered concussions before, so I think he's shown concern about that, and so his injury risk I think is quite high. That's my only reservation about him. Number 49 is the free safety Justin Reed. I feel like, just with Rosen, because it's a big topic, because this talks about Josh Rosen going second, but I'm not sure about picking a quarterback so high, considering that Nick Foles, so it was Nick Foles, Case Keenum, and Blake Bortles in their conference championship games. Doesn't that indicate that you shouldn't be spending $25 million on a quarterback and taking 5 quarterbacks in the first 10 picks? You've got to surround those guys with awesome talent. And your quarterbacks are not a dime a dozen, but they're easier to find than guys like offensive linemen or dominant secondary players, because secondary players are usually some of the fastest people on earth, most athletic, and linemen are some of the biggest and strongest people on earth. So that's harder to find than a guy who could be my size throwing the ball. So that's my 2 cents. Rosen, I think, just a bit concerned about injuries. He might need to bulk up a bit. But really talented passer. So I'm pretty high on him in that regard. But anyway, but not sure about the longevity thing. Number 49 is the free safety Justin Reed out of Stanford. I think he's as a free safety, because I think he's quite fast. I think he can maybe not be a lone safety though. Not sure if he's that fast. But pretty good coverage. He's okay in the run defense. Maybe his anticipation isn't so good, but I think he's really physical, so I think he can make his mark. Number 50 is the tight end Dallas Goedert. Really good receiver. Can't really block, but such a good receiver, like a Jimmy Graham type tight end where you just move him around and throw the ball up. Number 51 is the inside linebacker Josie Jewell. When you talk about a hammer at linebacker, I think he's a hammer at Mike. I think he's your guy. I think he can bust through blocks and make tackles, and he's he's not as fast as Roquan Smith, so his coverage skills aren't as good. But yeah, I think he's still just great as a run stopper. So number 52 is Nyheim Hines, the running back. He's short. He's like 5'8" or something, but so lightning quick. He's tough enough and bulky enough to run between the tackles, and he can receive as well, return kicks. Physical enough to pass block. So yeah, I'm really high on him. Number 53 is defensive tackle Vita Vea. See, he's so fast for a 340-pound guy, but I'm not sure about his hand usage. I'm not sure about his, yeah, I mean, as a nose tackle, you want a guy who can guarantee sort of collapse the pocket or hold up the offensive line so that they can't really push or anything. But I'm not sure if he has that like meanness to him, you know. I've seen him in the top 10, but I'm just not sure. I mean, I thought about placing him at defensive end because they talk about him and Haloti Ngata, who played at defensive end, even though he was at 340 pounds. I don't think V is fast enough to get to guys on the defensive end. So I think he'd be like a nose tackle. I think he could. He's just okay in my book. Yeah. If you guys have certain opinions and think I'm crazy, then I'm really keen to hear it, because I'm willing to be wrong. And if you guys are so interested in it, then I can do a scouting video. I'll probably try and do some scouting videos. Try and convince you all that Orlando Brown is the best pick in the draft. Things like that. I think I should do that. But we'll see. Number 54, cornerback Denzel Ward. So he's a guy who I've spoken about already. Can be a good slot receiver. Might get exposed on the outside. I mean, it's interesting. DaeShon Hamilton did a Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and Hamilton being a wide receiver, he said the toughest corner he went up against was Denzel Ward. So that's interesting. But Hamilton's not so much the physical or big receiver type. He's more of the finesse kind of guy, I think. And Ward is a guy who matches up against that fairly well because he can combat that with just superior length and speed. But against a guy like Courtland Sutton, I think Ward might have some trouble. Or a wide receiver like Auden Tate, who I've got just after him. Auden Tate's 6'4" and pretty quick, so he's an alright deep threat. And then number 56 is Lorenzo Carter, the outside linebacker. All the measurements you want, 6'6", 240, long arms. I think he can cover guys in space pretty well. I'm not sure about his strength or his moves to get past the blocker. I think he can hold. I think more of a base outside linebacker maybe, not so much a pass rusher. But I think he can hold the defensive line on the edge pretty well. Number 57 is the strong safety Kamari Cotton Moyer. He might be he's really bulky, so as a strong safety, I think you can even play him sort of, maybe not quite in the box, maybe on the edge of the box. But he can match running backs with speed. I think he's got the athleticism to cover tight ends. I think it can be a really tackle for loss, huge hits behind the line of scrimmage type guy. So he'd be super exciting to watch, I think. But I think strong safety is his better position because you want him playing a role in the run game. He might get pushed around by blockers in the run game though. But I think he can definitely cover some slot receivers. So that's where you want him on the strong safety spot. Number 58 is Harrison Phillips, a defensive tackle. I think he's quite disruptive. Pretty good hand usage. Maybe not as explosive as other defensive tackles, which limits his ability. But yeah, just solid all around. Pretty disruptive with his hands and his just sheer size. Maybe he's a defensive end in a 3-4, I would say. Maybe not a nose tackle. Number 59 is the quarterback, Chase Leighton. I think he's 6'5". And yeah, I've got him ahead of guys like Darnold and Josh Allen. Well, Josh Allen comes pretty soon after him in my board. But yeah, I think he can deliver the ball with moderate accuracy, pretty good arm strength. He's big enough to withstand hits in the pocket and patient enough in the pocket. Pretty good, all right feet usage. So, you know, with quarterbacks, you just got to think, how reliably is he going to get the ball to the open guy? So that means you've got to incorporate footwork, arm talent, accuracy, things like that. So I think Leighton is up there. So with Darnold, I'm not sure if he has the composure in the pocket. I don't know if he has the mechanics. I don't know if he has the right decision making. I mean, I think I think I've got a 4th round grade on Darnold because his decision making, I'm not sure is that good. I think his touchdown to interception ratio was terrible compared to all the other quarterbacks in this draft. I'm not sure why you're talking about him going number 1. I think you're still hyped on his freshman year, but you've got to look at the latest results, right? So yeah, I've got Chase Leighton there. I think I'm running out of time because I'm running out of space on my phone, which I'm filming on. Number 60 is Sam Hubbard. I reckon the outside linebacker is where he would be. I'm not sure he can be a defensive end. I don't think he's physically talented enough. I think as an outside linebacker, I think he's probably quick enough to cover some guys in space and be a good run stopper. And he can probably maybe get 2 or 3 sacks a year. Yeah, I just don't know about his high level athleticism, but relentless, which means that he can, and smart as well, so he can cover guys in space and he can run stop and put some pressure on the quarterback just because he's so relentless. So yeah, but I don't think he's top. I don't think he's a first rounder just because of his he's not as athletic as guys like Nwosu or Arden Key or anything. Wide receiver is Michael Gallup. I think he's lightning fast, can be a deep threat, and he's pretty good with his routes, but he's just not as big as a guy like Sutton. So, if you throw him a jump ball, he's not guaranteed to get it. So, but yeah, pretty fast. I think you can line him up outside or in the slot. Number 62, MJ Stewart, the free safety out of Carolina. Really hard hitting, pretty damn fast. Yeah, just sort of see ball, get ball kind of guy. And I like that. So, yeah, he's got all the size you want. And he can throw a ball really far. But once again, are you going to be able to throw it accurately? I think he can be reasonably accurate in the mid-range, in the middle of the field. I'm not sure about the outside throws. I'm not sure about the deep throws. And I'm not sure about his assertiveness. He just seems a bit sort of unsure about himself. I mean, I don't like to make, I don't know. You just look at his combine and he's just sort of like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. That's just my opinion. But, if he sits behind a good quarterback for, a few years and then gets a starting role, I think he can still be, pretty quality. Yeah, I'm just not sure about his deep ball or outside the hashes accuracy. And number 64 is the center, Billy Price. Now, I need to scout more centers because I've only got Billy Price and James Daniels as centers in my big board. But Billy Price is just, he can be okay in the run game. I'm not sure about his agility, so I'm not sure if he can really make plays up. But he's super strong, so I think in the pass game he can be very good. Yeah, so that's it. That's the second round. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then just like, subscribe. I do sort of various stuff with my channel. I'm doing NBA stuff as well. But if you're just a sports nut like me, then hopefully you appreciate it. Yeah. So this This whole big board is pretty unconventional, just according to what other people have been doing. I just grade, so, okay, I've got Saquon Barkley, but I've got a whole bunch of other guys. Like, who has more value? Does Barkley have more value than Josh Rosen? Yeah, I think so. As a punt returner, as a receiver, as a big play guy, I think he's more valuable than Josh Rosen. But is he more valuable than Simi Cobbs? Well, Simi Cobbs is like maybe a 5 or 6 reception a game kind of guy, guaranteed, right? Because he just knows what to do, physical, sure hands, fairly sure hands. So I think he's more sure than Barkley, who has some drawbacks, which mean that you're not as sure about him with his productivity. So that's how I just grade it. So yeah, there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you.